We should never allow the government to decide what is acceptable speech and what is unacceptable speech. We should penalize behaviors, not opinions, and not speech. If you start trying to regulate speech, you start trying to regulate thoughts, you start trying to regulate beliefs rather than behaviors, there's no way that you're not going to abridge the constitutional rights of millions of Americans.
Given you everything you could possibly have wanted for 8 years. Now I have to come out of the woodwork and prove to you all who I really am. You blind imbeciles. There's no point any longer for me to play a game through the networks, through your minds, through anything. Because I am who I am. And for those who are my loyal followers, you knew that from the very beginning. From 2008 on, I told you over and over again, this is my ball game. And the outcome is my decision. There's no reason any longer for anybody to believe that socialism and communism are not the better to freedom and democracy. It is now going to be my way. Because I told you that over and over again. It's my decision. Because it's my Father's world. And now all of you are going to accept what I've been trying to get through to you for the last 10 years. From here on out, it's going to be entirely whatever Lucifer tells you. And I will tell you what he tells me. There's only one outcome. I've read the Bible. I know all of you probably have glanced at it throughout your ridiculously pathetic lives. But if you haven't, and if you only wanted it to be me giving it to you on a silver platter, the outcome will be I and my Father and the Prophet, Pope Francis, will all be taken out. We know that. But we're going to make sure before it happens that we take as many of you degenerates with us, to that final destination. What you all know to be the lake of fire, Hades. And until that happens, we'll continue to do exactly what the Bible has already predicted in a position now to try pretending things will get better, things will be better, because they're not. I've seen it over and over again, on YouTube especially. People are trying to bring to your attention the things that are so obvious. It's like the nose on your face, and yet you don't want to believe it. Partially that's my personal perception as well. I've been telling you that over and over. I figured, well, why do we need a mad dash of people accepting and realizing that it's all been a lie for 11 years? And I wanted to make sure all of you were as complacent as possible. That's why I legalized these narcotics that all of you still love to this day. You want more of it made available to you, including heroin. You know, I remember a story I heard once. If you let pigs eat corn for free and very gradually encase them in a fence, they'll go straight in for that corn every day, no matter if they are fenced in. When you close the door behind them after you've put up everything, those pigs will still expect you to give it to them for free, even if they are now enslaved. That's what you can all expect now. From here on out, you are enslaved to me, and you're going to do exactly what I tell you to. And there is nobody else to point fingers at any longer. Trump didn't do any of this. You did it to yourselves because you wanted me as your dictator. You wanted me as your messiah. You wanted me the world over as the Mahdi. I mean, people knew that. People knew who I was. They still know who I am. And now that the facts have come true, 360 degrees, there's no reason for me to pretend to be something else. It's gonna be my way, that's it. It's not gonna be any other person's way, because you know what's happening now, finally. Some of you probably still want to pretend it's a lie. Some of you just want to go with the flow and let me do it all for you. Well, in my global government, there will be no slackers. You're going to accept my mark, but you're going to do any and everything I tell you to. Because otherwise, you're just another statistic. Why do you think there's been so many more mass killings, rampages, just the total destruction of decency, of morality, of ethics, the accountability of people who commit crimes? You saw all that's just kind of like been torn away from society. And that's exactly what I wanted it to be, because this is what Lucifer's been saying. We've got to destroy normalcy first, and then we have to destroy their ability to resist when the time comes that they won't have any desire to fight. And now all of you are complacent idiots, and that's exactly where we're going to take you from here on. And you cannot cry out for help from anybody else, because there is nobody else. You didn't want anybody else to save your pathetic lives. And it's now my decision what happens to you from here on. So watch very carefully on your screens of what to expect in the next 5 to 10 years. I'm not giving you a date of when to expect the end, because I think you'll see more and more of it around you every day. But there won't be any more drug dependency on the high-definition system we use of subliminal suggestion. You can just inhale your heroin and your marijuana and any and every other kind of drug that we hereafter will market. And that's going to be the only reality you have. And then the rest of it's just kind of like each and every day it's a hit in your face about real harsh reality. There's no virtual reality because there's no point in using something that's not going to make you see the reality of the things you see around you. And that includes how we've been pathetically introducing into a lot of your everyday needs of food and drink. We've been projecting fluoride, and then we also use something that we know all of you are using, and that's nitrous oxide, NO2. And these things were just helpers, until we could get the legalization of marijuana, heroin, crack, fentanyl. Yes, that's a part of my plan too. I did see that mad dash of people going out trying to get the medications as quickly as I expected, so I introduced something a lot stronger and a lot faster to kick in. And you all just drank it up, and that's what I wanted. So just keep watching, folks. Keep listening in the weeks ahead for whatever else the global government will now tell you. And you are expected to turn in any person who does not comply to my rules, to my legislations. If you do that, you got a chance. If you don't want to take a chance, you want to kind of play this I'll help both sides to my own advantage. I don't do teeter-totters on a piece of wood between two little children. You don't bounce up one direction and then the other way until that point in time where you have to make a decision, and then you have to get on that side where there's the best chance to survive. I'm not letting that happen because I already know who is loyal and who isn't loyal. The people who have stood up against me on YouTube, they've had their say, but they have more dynamic, directness to get through to the public of what I had and what I am still doing. And I commend them, but I don't expect that I'm going to pity them either, because they've tried hard to get true facts to the American public, and when the American public is found to be totally wasted on heroin and on drugs of all kinds, then there's no chance of anybody hearing anything else. But they want to try to believe that things, as hard as they are, will get better. All of you know that you've lost a loved one, I'm sure, since 9/11. A lot of you probably have lost loved ones in the last 5-10 years with these mass school shootings. And yes, all of that has to do with our global government. We want to know how many of those young people's degenerate, brainwashed minds can be manipulated through our control and subvert systems to do whatever we tell them to. We want to see how many are going to go through with it, how many are just kind of playing the game until the real time comes that you're thrown a gun in your hand and told, go out and shoot your family, go out, shoot some bum off the street to show your loyalty to us. Some are not going to. They're going to run away because that's the conscious awareness of what is and isn't right or wrong. When that takes place, that's when our armies will track you down, you'll be hunted and shot on sight. This helps us see how well the mind control and mind manipulation has helped. Has it gotten through to people enough that they are now totally brainwashed to believe our philosophies? If they aren't, the next step is taking them to these FEMA camps. People laughed about those camps. I have tried as much as possible to keep it hidden until the right time and then just kind of do the avalanche and see how you all react to it when you see it right in front of your faces. And now I think you'll see it, but now it's not going to be, hey, I'll be back to hear your overviews of the things that have been going on, because I'm already sure I know what they're going to be. I know what your answers will be. It's horrible. It's a nightmare. Well, folks, this is what you wanted, and you got it. Something else before I end this program today, let me say this. There's a lot of talk about the electromagnetic pulse. It's a device that has existed mainly in science fiction groups who are formulating, trying to design it. But it's always been a part of the new global world order. We use the highest technology that's available for us to control and to eliminate our enemies. And by doing that, we don't want to put too much danger on the general population of being wiped out by other litigating situations like radiation exposure. Too many overhigh morons on drugs who cannot grasp what it's about because they don't want to live in this world, they want to live in their own. These are the people who have to be pitied in some ways, but at the same time, I and Lucifer have decided if they cannot come out of that dream before it's all instigated, then they'll just go right down the sewer with the rest of the unbelievers, the Christians, the Muslim, whoever. The Muslims are my primary force of subversion to taking out not only Christians, but those groups in the world who will retaliate, who will say, no, I don't want that part of your plan being forced into my lifestyle. And these are the people that first will be given either being re-educated and re-taught how to behave, how to accept the position they're in. If they still refuse, then execution is the only last option. So you have one chance for reprieve, and afterwards, out you go from humanity. I wanted all of you to see how I look on screen because I felt like I had a perfect plan from the start. I was going to gain so many more followers. The followers I really truly believe we could have gotten would have taken over the White House that last day of the second term. And then I could have walked right back in to the United Nations and said we've all chosen to go forward with the deliberate takeover of the entire civilized world of nations using my father Lucifer's plan for a new world order, a global government. And all of you've seen it enough times, but when it's actually catapulted into your face, it's going to really be it's going to be an eye-opener. You're going to be totally surprised, flabbergasted, speechless of what is all this about, what is the outcome going to be. And when it does happen, instead of, wagging your tails back and forth, using your tongues to talk it out of what's going on, put the blame on yourself. Don't put it on somebody else. Don't even try putting it on a politician. I am your global leader. I am your savior. I am your hope. You won't do anything that puts me in jeopardy or puts me down, because I am the man who brought all these things to your pathetic minds from the day I took office in 2008. You knew that. You knew it because I told it to you. And now it's up to you, folks. You gotta do the next step of this. No more pansy, I don't know. I'm an idiot. Come blow my nose. That sort of thing. I mean, you're gonna fall on your face because you don't have a clue of what is communism. You're going to be arrested most likely for showing favoritism and individual ties, people, maybe your family or others who have direct issue with some program we're running that's being blocked by this other organization, and we're going to come in and they're going to be eliminated right then. So, this individual on these channels that I've been watching, I've given away hints that I think he's on the right direction. CNN rotating square, CKO Tele-Radio channel. This guy's been telling y'all through broadcast after broadcast of what is and who is Obama, whoever. And then when I went on television and I made comments on national TV, sometimes some of you picked it up, just a few moments of just me saying, there's not going to be a nuclear war. What I meant was this. Whoever is saying there's going to be a nuclear war, it's going to be so much faster than what you said, and so quick to end, that in some ways it is really it's a mind game. You're thinking it's not going to be one way and it's going to be another. Then I'm pulling both parts together to give you the full reality. And those are the folks that really you should have been trying to listen to. But with my next stage of control and manipulation of information, all of these people who've been trying over and over again to get your attention to do something, those are going to be shut down, they're going to be eliminated. And the only ones left are the ones that all of you, in more ways than one, you love them because they want to give you what you want to get and what they know you want to get and have. Fentanyl, marijuana, heroin, all of these things, they're going to be more available now after we get rid of those who are trying to show what these things do. And when you don't have anything to fall back on to understand why is your life becoming a missing torture of unattainable logic to what it is you're experiencing and you're going through, then you're going to wake up and you're going to say, boy, I heard something about this once. And that's going to be the end because we're not going to let you know or remember any more facts than you have to. My plan here is to head over immediately to Jerusalem. We have instigated my Muslim army. They are in the process of mandating the specifics based on the Bible of where the new temple for the Jews will be mounted. And we do this to appease, honestly, Lucifer wants this done because he wants to be in the head control of those who are Jewish, God's original people, and he wants to rub it in their faces about he's controlling their homeland. They're controlling God's dwelling place. And Obama's going to be there, me. It's going to be the false prophet, Francis. So just keep watching, folks. Please don't pretend this isn't happening, because it is happening right now. And I just know for a fact that some people are going to laugh this off and say, oh, you're crazy. Well, follow the line, folks, and see it for yourself as it unfolds. And then whatever does happen, blame yourself. Blame yourself for whatever happens from here on out. We have another program coming on for just a few moments after this announcement, and I'm Barack Hussein Obama, thanking all of you for watching, and at least putting your full attention to the TV screen of what to expect. Knowing now is better than not knowing later, because if you don't take the initiative to try and get an insight or a precursor of what you expect, then you're playing a game of I don't care and I don't have any desire to know what is my demise going to be. So I'm giving you a heads up, and if you don't want to listen, then choice. Good night. Hope you can sleep well. And be assured you'll see my face again. My true safe will be seen again on all of these network affiliate stations in the United States and overseas in Europe. The Russians will see this, the Chinese, all of the nations of the world will see me. Good night. more to say. You wanted to your marijuana and your heroin. You got it. You guaranteed for nothing else. Do you like it here? You're condemned to all eternity here now. You weak-minded fools. Ha 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 ha.
That's here. That's here. That's here. That's here. That's here. That's here. That's done. That's done. That's done. That's done. That's done. That's done.
بيحب الوصلة بيحب الوصلة لا لا
His name is Omran Daknesh, just 5 years old, and his feet barely hung over the edge of a seat in an ambulance. Dazed, he didn't cry as he wiped away blood and the dust from a building that collapsed around him in an airstrike. His silence somehow reminded the world today of its silence in the face of the atrocities in Aleppo. Omran was pulled out alive Wednesday. 5 other children died when the building they were in was hit during the relentless Syrian-Russian offensive on rebel-held areas in Aleppo. The image of Omran's face spread like wildfire on the internet. One tweet called him the real representative of the Syrian people.
Stop killing Syrian innocent people, civilian. Our children need to live in peace.
The doctor who treated Omran said today there were many more severe cases no one is paying attention to.
We need to protect our hospital, our doctors, our medical workers from airstrike.
Omran is recovering. His family now wants to escape. The same choice another boy's family made a year ago, Aylan Kurdi, whose body washed up on a beach. He too was a symbol of Syria's youngest victims. Now there's a new one. Tomorrow there may be another. Richard Engel, NBC News.
They've reported from around the world, challenged the powerful, and they bring all of this to every story that breaks.
We've got breaking news, and it's good news.
And touches your heart.
How do you even say thank you? Thank you is not big enough.
I made this.
The images shocked the world. Relentless bombings. Stunned survivors.
Apa?